Hi, and welcome to part 2 of my Rumpelstiltskin movie review. If you have not yet watched part 1, I would really suggest you do that because otherwise you're probably going to be a little confused since we're just jumping here right at the end of Act 1. You can also be confused if you'd like. That's allowed. To bring you up to speed on the scene we last left our characters, Tim had just come home from work and Lisa confronted him about the sewing machine and yarn that he failed to get rid of like he said he would, and his response was, "There were some fibers that caught my eye." So we're just gonna jump right into the continuation of this conversation. Please enjoy part 2, which is starting now. She asks her husband about animal control.
He didn't find any tracks, and he was gonna put some bear traps out there in case when the bear comes and he's grab it right in the leg. We're safe.
And she's thankful or whatever, and then we get yet another one of the same establishing shots that they use several times. Just another one of the shots of the fucking trees. Even though we have not left the house, and clearly not much time has passed because she's still in the same clothes. Like, I think I get what they're trying to do. Like, they're just suggesting that some time has passed. But more than anything, it's just highlighting that this movie completely takes place in one location. Not that that inherently makes a movie bad, but this movie is bad. So that's the end of that sentence. So Lisa starts sweeping the porch. She looks out and we see that there's this random dude kind of leaning against a tree and watching her from the edge of their yard. And I'm gonna give you a little spoiler. This man has no supernatural abilities or anything like that, so it's never explained why he was able to just disappear like that. I think that this guy is one of my favorite parts of the movie. He's not the greatest actor, and there's a part where they give him so many lines, and they're like really important, like exposition, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. When they show this shot of the house from like where the guy was standing, I thought it'd be really funny if he was just like sucking in, like standing behind the tree like that. Cause like, again, he's not a ghost or an entity, so not sure why he was able to just disappear like that. The next scene, our two main characters are having dinner, and warning for people who have that phobia of like hearing people chew, because there's a lot of chewing sounds in this scene and like unnecessary mouth noises, and I'm gonna show you a little bit because I have to show you an example, but if you really cannot handle that, skip ahead to this timestamp. So he asks her how her day was, and she tells him about the, quote, strange-looking man that she saw watching her in the yard.
I saw someone in the yard earlier today.
Okay.
This strange-looking man just staring at me.
I want to push back on this a little bit because he's just the most regular-looking dude, so I'm not sure why she said he was strange. It is strange that he was watching her, but, like, he didn't look that strange.
Say anything to him?
I mean, I tried, but
She did not.
by the time I got there, he was gone.
Also, by the time you got there, he disappeared in less than a second. You didn't have time to get anywhere. You didn't even get to take a single step. She says to Tim that she's gonna go to bed early. He starts to clean up the kitchen, and he's narrating what he's doing out loud like a normal person.
Not hungry. I'll put all this away. Oh gosh.
He heads to the spare room and locks the door behind him. And no, I'm not gonna make another joke about him fucking the yarn. Tim pulls the mask out from the basket of yarn, and you can literally see like the paint peeling off of the latex or whatever they use to make this mask. It's funny because when you first see the mask, it is in much better shape. You can tell that as the movie went on and they like handled it more, the paint started to peel off and it got damaged, but I guess the props department just couldn't be asked to mix a little bit of paint in a latex and paint that shit back on and fix it up. But it's not like it looked that great before, but looks a lot worse now. But obviously, you know, he's about to put that shit on. God, there's even like a little string hanging from it. It looks so bad. So we get another goblin transformation scene. Goblin Tim scurries out of there to, you know, wreak havoc or whatever it is he does. So we see the neighbor dude who I looked up and his name is Bill. I got really confused about what time of day it's supposed to be because we just saw Lisa say, I'm going to bed early. It looks like the middle of the day. In this scene, anyways.
Yeah, she's got me out here looking for some organic eggs or someplace like I can't find anywhere close to the city. No, what do you mean? No, I need that by Friday. When I said 5, I mean 5, not 4.5. What are you talking about?
Could we not have just started with him already having the glasses off? They do this a few times, like, oh, he's taking off his glasses, so we know he's putting on the mask, but like, it just doesn't work. It just comes across a little silly, like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up right after I take off my glasses. He hears some menacing goblin noises.
He says to me it all right now. Hey, did you hear that?
Where was he hiding? The dude was literally facing the direction of the camera, and that's where he pops up, and like, it looks like they're in a big ass field, so I don't know. I'm nitpicking a movie that nobody gives a shit about, but in a way, I feel like I'm actually treating this movie with more respect by critiquing it. There's just some things I can't not mention, you know? Where the fuck is Tim supposed to be hiding? We literally just watched him get into the back seat. How would Bill not see a grown-ass goblin man chilling in the back seat? This movie doesn't make any sense. Okay, I'm actually here to eat my words because as I'm editing this, I realize what happened in the scene. Tim didn't get in his back seat. What he did was like, he stole his groceries and ran off and like left the back seat open. Let me know, am I just a huge buffoon and that was like extremely obvious to you? Or did you think the same thing happened, that he got into the car? But I actually scrolled forward to see if like the next scene Tim comes home like, I went to the grocery store, but no. The stealing the groceries doesn't come back. Like, he just did that to be an asshole. So, sorry movie, you do make a little bit more sense, I guess, than I initially gave you credit for, but I had to leave my little song in. So now Goblin Tim is back in the spare bedroom, literally drooling all over the yarn. So now it's the next day, and we see that Lisa is going to her mailbox, and we get to watch her in full walk to her mailbox, grab the mail, and walk all the way back. And again, another shot that is just way too long, unnecessarily. But briefly, when her back is turned to the camera, we see a man in a Dan Flash's t-shirt waft by the screen, but this time she confronts the dude and he's like awkwardly hiding behind the tree.
Hey! You know I can see you there, right? I'm gonna call the cops.
Then she goes inside and now she's drinking wine in her living room with a character whose name I definitely know. It's Sam. It's been really hard for me to keep track of these characters' names. At this point in the script writing process, I was still waiting for them to say Lisa's name because I know it ain't fucking Lisa. Anyways, they're talking shit about Tim and Lisa says,
I don't know what it is really. I can't pinpoint it, but he's just off. I don't know.
And he did nothing about the creepy guy?
Nothing at all.
He didn't respond?
Like nothing.
He comes home and she tells him she saw the weird guy again. He does not know what she's talking about. So I guess he doesn't remember that conversation. She like immediately gets hostile with him.
I saw him again.
Who?
Who? Are you kidding me?
Gosh, I mean, did you call anybody?
I don't know. Did I call anybody? You're looking at her. After I tried calling you a million times.
I was in business meetings all day. I had my phone off.
I texted you.
You just said you called him. If his phone was like off or on Do Not Disturb, wouldn't that mean the text would also be on silent? Did the person who wrote this script have amnesia?
You know what I told her she should do? Is file a police report.
And I just want to acknowledge the funny way that Sam's actor delivered that line and then ate whatever was on the toothpick. Tim kind of sheepishly replies like, oh, maybe that's a good idea.
I guess that's a good idea.
And Lisa just starts going the fuck off on him. It's kind of chaotic.
You know what, Tim? I moved here for you, okay? I had a life in New York. I had friends in New York. I had a good job, okay? And yes, I agreed to move here so that we can start a family. But you know what I did not agree on? Being here by myself 6 days a week, alone.
Okay, I think I should go. I'm gonna go.
No.
Emma. Okay, Emma. Her name's Emma. Emma and Tim. Emma, Tim, Sam, Bill. Rumpelstiltskin. Emma and Tim are arguing in front of Sam. So she starts to leave because obviously she's uncomfortable.
No. Okay, you listen to me. She is not going anywhere.
And this is probably one of the most relatable scenes in the movie. If you've ever been around a couple that's arguing with each other, it's the most awkward thing in the world, especially if you're the third wheel in the situation. It's so awkward, and it's 1,000 times worse when you're like, oh, you know, I'll just go and give you privacy. But they're like, no, you need to stay. Like, don't bring me into this. Don't make me a fucking example in your argument. The reason I wouldn't leave is less out of respect for you and more because I'm fucking uncomfortable. Nobody wants to be around a couple that's fighting. They argue some more, and Tim finally snaps back.
Nothing's wrong with me. I just don't want to fight in front of your friend here, that's all.
So Tim leaves to let some things cool off. Well, hello there. Enjoy the view. So Tim leaves to let things cool off, and he gets in his car. It just looks so much worse in the daylight. Oh my god. I mean, obviously I've already talked about this. That mask does not look very good, but in this particular scene, it's just so obvious. So, cut to Bill in his kitchen when Tim knocks on the door. And the way they filmed this kind of makes it seem like these actors were not in the room together.
Tim,
Hey, Bill.
what are you doing here?
You can just kind of see Bill's shoulder as he's like opening the door to let Tim in. So I don't know. I think it might just be the weird way they chose to film this part.
Hey, I got some coffee going. You want some coffee?
Sure. Only if you're having some.
Yeah, Tim, I think that kind of goes without saying.
Always.
Like he loves coffee so much, even though he gave Emma a hard fucking time.
Coffee. I had no idea coffee was an event.
So which is it? Emma was right about you. And I know I said earlier, it kind of seems like the actors aren't in the same room, but I wasn't sure. But this part really does look like it.
So, what you got?
If they were genuinely in the same house during this, why would you choose to barely show them together in this weird way? It just looks so odd. Anyways, Bill asks Tim, what's on your mind? And we get a little flashback.
Never, ever underestimate those expense reports. It's important that we set aside for the future.
No. Sorry, well, that's what you said the other day at the house. You mentioned, gold.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, gold is great. I mean, don't get me wrong, but you know what's even hotter right now? Housing.
Tim asks, well, how do I get started? And once again, Bill absolutely comes for his career in the yarn business.
Tim, I don't mean to be offensive or anything, but, you know, the yarn business isn't exactly lucrative, right? I'm just being honest here, man. You know, come on, you're a foot soldier.
So Bill starts implying that Tim probably doesn't have enough money to invest in housing.
No, I was just saying, I mean, you know, after you pay all your bills, I mean, you probably don't have enough money for something like that.
Which I don't understand why he automatically assumes that. Aside from the fact that, yes, he did say he works in the wholesale yarn business, and I'm not sure what that even means. They just bought like a nice house. Like, they seem like they're doing well. And obviously he's asking about investment. So I just don't understand why Bill would automatically assume like, you can't even get involved. Like, yeah, I told you about it and told you that you should consider getting involved. But I obviously know you can't get involved, even though I literally know nothing about your finances. But I guess this is why Bill is supposed to be the asshole character. I think that they read a page from the Darman book of writing villains. Whenever Tim pulls out this mask, it's so funny because Bill's like, whoa, man, what the fuck? You need to put that away.
This is my mask. So you need to leave.
He's acting like he just pulled out like a huge bag of drugs, but it's just this dumb mask. Okay, so now we finally get to see our first kill of the movie as Bill is kind of like backed into this bathroom. So Rumpelstiltskin kills Bill with this yarn.
Oh, yes, 911.
The writing of this movie is obviously not very good at all, but I hate to just completely sit here and be like, this is complete trash, this sucks. Like, I know I've kind of been doing that, but I do want to try to compliment things when I do see them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still taking some of the low-hanging fruit, but I'm still trying to find some of those, like, bright spots where I can, so I don't come off as too much of a negative biatch. So when Tim uses the yarn to kill Bill, I kind of thought like, oh, that's kind of creative. He's using his golden yarn as a murder weapon. Like, that's at least Rumpelstiltskin related in a way that actually has to do with the villain and not just like, oh, there happens to be a basket of yarn in our house for no reason. But I'm just gonna spoil it for you now. He doesn't ever use this yarn to kill someone again. I'm like, oh, that's like his thing. Like, he uses the yarn. We're gonna see him kill like 2 more people, but the yarn never comes up again in that way. I don't know. I thought even he could have used it as like maybe the yarn as like a tripwire and it tricks someone into like, you know, falling into a booby trap and their like head gets cut off or something. Like something interesting. You know what I mean? I can enjoy bad movies. Like they can be really funny. A movie can have terrible acting, writing, hideous CGI or effects and still be charming, funny, or entertaining to watch in some way. I think the worst movies are ones that are just boring, and unfortunately this movie does fall flat of like the campy horror. I think it does just lean more on the boring side. You know, I'm funny and dazzling, so I can find jokes to make about this movie. If you're someone that likes to watch bad movies with your friends, like this is not one that you should put on for bad movie night, because it just unfortunately is more than anything kind of a snooze fest. And now we are back at the house and we see Emma is in bed as Tim is getting ready to join her when she confronts him.
Where were you?
I was out. Give me space.
Giving me space? You left 6 hours ago, Tim.
He also mentioned he was going to bring dinner when he left, and I think that part would piss me off more than anything.
Well, pick up dinner.
You lie!
So Emma tells Tim that they weren't able to get a hold of Bill, so Sam has passed out in the spare bedroom. Which, that's dramatic because, you know, we know Bill is fucking dead.
Listen, dear, I really don't want to argue with you.
You have got to speak up, my dude. There's so many times where the subtitles just like give up and they're like, we're not really sure what he said there.
Could you at least tell me what's going on with you lately, please?
Maybe you should get some sleep.
Masterful deflection there, Tim. Great way to just completely shut down the question. But, I mean, I guess it works because she stops asking him more questions. And he just says, well, I guess I'll go sleep on the couch. And she just nods like, yes, that's where you belong. So now we cut to Sam, who we know is sleeping in their spare bedroom. Tim shows up like all goblined out and he does this. Sam is the heaviest sleeper in the world because she doesn't wake up until he leaves the room, even though he's practically yelling into her ear. Okay, so Sam comes home and I'm wondering where Bill was.
Bill? You weren't answering your phone. Emma dropped me off. Bill?
And I'm like, wouldn't you be concerned for your husband or like your partner if they dropped you off at a friend's house because you knew you'd be drinking and like with the intention that they were gonna pick you up later and they just never answered their phone? Like, is this a normal thing for Bill to do? I feel like I would be way more concerned about that. Like, is everything okay? But this is kind of a little appetizer of underreactions because Sam is about to stumble upon that body. I can't show the part with the actual body because there's some fake blood, but it appears that Rumpelstiltskin has made it look like Bill unalived himself. And the way Sam reacts is very interesting. I'll just show you the clip. harsh, but I feel like she's underreacting massively. I just know if I stumbled upon something horrific like that, I'd probably scream or just at least have a bigger reaction. Like she's just kind of like, oh my God. And then just goes to like softly cry in her room. She doesn't call anyone. Maybe she was planning on it, but she's not gonna get to do that because Rumpelstiltskin shows up, of course. He kills her with what looks to be a giant pair of knitting needles. So I guess they are like kind of keeping the Rumpelstiltskin theme. Also, they don't really show the aftermath or like much gore of Sam getting murdered. Like he stabs her and they have this shitty looking like blood splatter overlay that they put over the footage. Like it looks bad, but it's in such an underwhelming way. Like they couldn't commit. Like you couldn't at least, I don't know, do some crappy makeup just to make it look like she got her eyes stabbed. I don't know. Like is it that hard? Okay, now get ready because this is the big jump scare of the movie. Okay, so then Tim lays down for a nap, and Emma's outside, like, reading a book or whatever, and we finally get to meet the strange man who's been watching her from her yard.
He's changing, isn't he?
Excuse me?
Your husband.
You need to get the hell out of my property.
I'm only here to warn you. You are in danger. That baby, too.
So Emma, who has been wearing the same hair clip this entire movie, she's skeptical, but she follows him into his house, by the way, which I wouldn't have done, and I think a lot of women would agree that that's just not something you would do. Couldn't we have this conversation, like, outside? I don't know, whatever. And we get a pretty boring monologue, but it's also where the main plot exposition is revealed. Isn't that what they say, like, tell, don't show? I think that's the saying, right?
The story is old. It has so many names.
When did he have a cane? Also, he's never been shown with a cane. I feel like they originally wanted this character to be older, or at least like a more mystical person, maybe? You know, like the mysterious person in the movie that reveals the, you know, the main villain's goal or whatever. That's in a lot of movies. It doesn't really make sense here because they just got the most degular looking dude in the world, and we never find out why he knows so much about Rumpelstiltskin. And he knew somehow that he had returned in this random lady's house. If you can imagine, when this guy does explain Rumpelstiltskin's whole thing or whatever, they definitely took some creative liberties with the original story.
As the story goes, Rumpelstiltskin wove the straw into gold in order to have the captured king's daughter's unborn child. That was the arrangement if the queen never spoke of his true name.
And they don't say what queen, just the queen. There's no specifications there. And like, I understand, like in the fairy tale, there wouldn't be, but you are making a movie. You need to explain this just a little bit more.
When the queen finally revealed his true identity, the imp left in rage, but vowing to come back and steal an unborn child. Your unborn child.
An unborn child, not the queen's. An unborn child.
I don't understand.
You will. He will kill anyone who cares for you, leaving you alone with him. And when the baby is finally born, he will kill you too and steal it.
For what?
To create a chasm in the ground and sending all mothers to it and swallow them whole.
And this is where I get to the part where I think maybe they should have put a fake belly or just like made her seem more pregnant, because it makes the stakes feel a lot lower. In 7 months, this is gonna happen. Like, she has a lot of time to take action and do something about this.
There has to be something that the M have gone attached to. Something your husband used to emulate the being and allowing it to take over his body and mind.
The yarn.
Oh, so close, Emma. We're actually looking for mask. It was the mask. But your character doesn't know that yet. He tells Emma that the only way to stop Rumpelstiltskin is to kill him.
What am I supposed to do?
You must kill him.
And she's like, but what about my husband? And he's like, what about him? I actually am single and I have a good job. I'll take care of you. I won't turn into a goblin. This guy, again, he gives her no credentials, so I'm not sure why she trusts him. Tim has been acting a little weird, but yes, trust this stranger who tells you you need to kill him because he's possessed by a demon. Like, I would assume that this guy needs psychiatric help. I wouldn't be like, oh, yep, time to go kill my husband over this. Hello, you're hearing my voice because I'm telling you it's the end of the video. This is the end of part 2. Stay tuned for part 3 of this Rumpelstiltskin movie review. It was originally going to be all in one video. I've had to split it up, and that's the reason why there's not really a natural transition from me talking about the movie to me just ending the video. Stay tuned for part 3. It should be coming within the next week or so. Goodbye!